social media is full of videos of humanoids doing amazing things. If you watch them, you get the impression the future is already here. But the big question is, what can those humanoids actually really do? So in today's episode, we're going to dive into this question and we're going to discuss on how advanced humanoids really are in 2026. So stay with us and enjoy. Welcome back to another episode of the Automation Awakenings podcast. Super happy to be back in the studio and with my partner, Oliver Zahowski.
Matthias, thank you very much. And welcome to all of you to our new amazing studio. I hope you like it.
Welcome back to another episode of Automation Awakenings podcast. I'm super happy to be back together with Oliver Zahowski, and we're going to discuss all things humanoids in 2026. Ollie, what is your take on that? I did the mistake and I followed certain robotics channels on Instagram, and it now feels that humanoids are already ready to be deployed and used all across the place.
Yeah, so first of all, the marketing colleagues are doing a great job here. Because if you ask people outside the robotics bubble and even also inside, they will tell you, I have the feeling humanoids, they are already working. We can actually use them or should even use them.
How can I order them?
I would like to order them because they are already there. So kudos to the marketing people of all these companies. They are doing an amazing job. If you watch videos on YouTube, the robots are already working in the warehouse, at the production line. I've even seen a video where a robot is like mounting something to a car, and others are jumping around, doing flick-flack, all these kind of movements. So, of course, you perceive the humanoid world as being ready to work.
Yes. I think media is just simply creating the impression that humanoids are ready for mass market. And with the huge potential that, of course, is there, we still need to be realistic here. And we see that there is still many, let's say, open topics that need to be addressed. But maybe before we talk about the open topics, let's talk about the functions and the tasks that humanoids could take over already today. So my first shot is walking. They can walk, most of them, quite reliably. And to be honest, this is not a small thing, because keeping the balance, having a bipedal movement is really, really Champions League of robotics engineering. So this is for sure something that works, but of course that's not yet enough to really create a interesting business case, a part of the entertainment industry. What else do we have, Ollie?
Yes, and here I can only say I'm only trusting what I'm really seeing. That's what I learned in the mobile robots business already now. So I can fully confirm that walking and balancing is possible already today. And what it also can do is pick objects. Yeah, I mean, they have their hands, they can pick boxes or any kind of object. But if this is hard-coded into the software, so maybe you have the feeling it's possible that the robot just approaches any kind of object and it automatically adapts the hand, the power, the strength, or even the strategy how to pick up an object. This is absolutely not true. But what is possible is if you code it, if you learn, if the robot learns how to pick up a certain type of object, it can already do it today. That's possible up to a certain limit of weight, of course. Do
we have any examples here?
Yeah, we have examples. Up to 8, 10, 12 kilograms. I've seen it already working. Everything what is heavier it already is difficult for the robot, actually.
Okay, some certain brands, agility,
Robotics is capable of doing that.
and also the others that have hands.
Also the others, the Unitree, I think, I'm not sure about the data sheet now, but a few kilograms is possible, but not more. That's important.
Right. One more thing we can or have to mention here is, of course, the topic of machine feeding. All right. And we have those very, very prominent pilots going on where we have humanoids of figure working in BMW factories, where we have Apollo robots of Apptronic working in Mercedes-Benz factories. Of course, we have Tesla with their Optimus. And there are videos out there, and I really believe them. Humanoids are capable of feeding a machine. It's always the same movement. They take some, I don't know, metal plates, and they just put it into a certain a machine that is then using this metal to process it on. So probably, again, this is something that is hard-coded, that is working in this one particular use case. And it's great, and I really appreciate those companies going those steps, because we need those early adopters to really push the boundaries of the technology and to, ensure that the companies, the humanoids companies, know which next step to take to take a leap forward. So it's very important. But again, I don't believe that the humanoid is already this Swiss Army knife type of robot that you can just deploy somewhere, and then it's basically learning on itself, and it's clever enough to move between different stations to do totally different tasks. And we all agree that this is going to be the USP of a humanoid if we're going to see it in industrial environments.
Yeah, that's for sure. And actually, there's another thing a humanoid can do today. In addition, to feeding a line, it can do simple manipulations. So we've seen reliable videos where a robot is even using a tool like a screwdriver and mounting an object with the screwdriver. I believe this is possible for simple manipulations. And again, we are talking about hard-coded processes. Yeah. So please, don't think that you can just give a humanoid any kind of tool and it will recognize what it is.
Yeah, you have this IKEA or whatever furniture, and then you tell the humanoid, okay, come on, let's build it up for me, please.
This will be the breakthrough of humanoids as soon as they can mount the IKEA furniture, like the pucks and so on. Then we'll finally have the breakthrough.
Yeah, absolutely agree to this. Any other aspects, any other tasks that humanoids are capable of doing already in 2026?
No, that's it. I think we covered everything what is possible today with a little asterisk, only hard-coded.
Okay, yeah, good. Then let's move on. What are actually the, let's say, the limiting factors that are still out there? Let's make it more concrete. We already said, yes, there is still work to be done, but let's give some more details here.
Yes, I think we need to categorize this into hard and software. And maybe you think that the main issue is on the software side, but we are realizing that actually in both categories, there's still way to go. Right. So let's have a look on the hardware. What's the most complex part of a humanoid? From my point of view, these are the hands. I mean, human hands are super complex. Yeah,
right.
They have 5 fingers. They are very accurate. They know how much power you need to grab something. There is the strategy of grabbing something. You intuitively know how to do it
from different angles.
Not talking about the feeling you have in your fingers. That's like super complex to create in a digital world.
Yeah, like picking up an egg.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
I mean, different angles. You have to differently approach it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't apply too much pressure, because otherwise the egg will, of course, crack open. Absolutely. I think the limbs, let's call it the limbs, are a masterpiece of of engineering.
Yeah.
And already we have some really good steps in this direction. But I would also like to go into a more, let's say, general view here. I think that still, even for those hard-coded tasks, the speed is still too low. I don't believe that there is a really superb return on invest behind those pilot projects. It's more like a proof, okay, we can do it, we can feed the machine with it, but it's still way slower than the human is. So not sure if the lines have to, be slowed down a little bit to make this pilot happen. But either way, I think speed is one big limiting factor right now. Other than that, I would also say reliability. I mean, it's something different to do a demo, to do something, I don't know, 500 times on a fair, like, some kind of activity. But it's different to do something 10,000 times.
Yeah, 24/7.
24/7, 1 million times, like repeat. Really, let's say those hard industrial environments. This is a totally different story. So it's really different if you do something for a demo and do it 50 times in comparison to if you do it 10,000 times, 1 million times in industrial environment. It's a totally different story.
This brings us to the next limiting factor, the battery. I mean, still we do not see any cables anymore,
right?
With humanoids. That was really weird a couple of years back. So at least the batteries are way better now, and they can walk around for a couple of minutes, maybe 1 hour is already the maximum.
Yeah, I would like to add something here.
Mm-hmm.
To my knowledge, there is no real information out there as well.
That's true.
And like if you scan, the web pages of the major suppliers, it's very hard to find concrete information on how long the battery, let's say, the battery charge is say, how do you say that? How long can we use the battery to before it's empty? In other words. So that's also something that, of course, is raising question marks here, right?
Yeah, you see them on exhibitions, on fairs, walking around from a certain time, but then there's the USB-C plug that needs to be used quickly.
Perfect. And then we have one last from my point of view, and we already touched that, that's adaptability. And I think adaptability will be the key differentiating factor for humanoids in comparison to other automation technologies. Because it's not like humanoids are entering a vacuum and there is nothing out there in terms of robotics. It's on the contrary. They're entering a market that is already heavily splitted. There is so many different technologies like mobile robots for transport, like classic robotic arms for certain tasks. There is technology there that is highly effective, that has been out on the market for years, that is mature. And the big USP of a humanoid will be to combine different use cases that today different technologies are able to do, to combine it into one machine, into one humanoid robot. And that's why adaptability still not yet given. We have those hard-coded, let's say, use cases that honestly could also have been done by other automation technologies.
Yes, I think we can already conclude here. There is a huge gap between what we see on YouTube and on the news and what is actually possible today. This is because both on hardware and software side, there is still a way to go until we reach a certain level that technically is working. And we are even more far away from having a business case with humanoids.
Yeah, I think walking like a human is already challenging, and they do it. But working like a human is a totally different aspect here, and that's something that we need to take into consideration, and that is still far away. I mean, we don't know how far. Probably it's going to go quicker than you think, and that would be amazing. But they are not yet ready to really replace humans in in industrial environments. Let's put it very clearly here.
Matthias, thank you for this wonderful closing words of this episode today. Our time is already over, unfortunately. So we will come back in 2 weeks with some further humanoid tech talk. Yeah. So
Exactly.
See you there.
Thanks for tuning in. Hear you back soon and have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.